Hi everybody and welcome to English Grade 4. Today's lesson will be about animals in stories and I hope that you will enjoy it. Our learning's objectives for today's lesson are to identify and interpret main ideas and details in an oral text. Identify sequence of events. Identify the meanings of new words and use them in context. Identify and form compound nouns and use them in context. Identify story elements. Write a narrative paragraph including story elements. Focus on reading. By the end of these activities, you will be able to identify and interpret main ideas and details in a written text. Read the story and answer the questions that follow. The sting of the bee. It was Sunday morning. Joyce and Dawn woke up at Grandpa's farm. Joyce opened her eyes and looked around her. "Where am I?" she asked Dawn. "Where are you?" cried Dawn happily. "You're on the farm, of course. Don't you hear that old rooster crowing in the backyard? It's telling you to get up. Hurry up, Joyce. We must go out and help Grandpa milk the cows." The two children were busy and happy all morning. Joyce helped Grandma wash the dishes and tidy the house, while Dawn followed Grandpa as he did his work on the farm. After lunch, Grandma took her afternoon nap, while Grandpa went to help a neighbor with some work. The children were left alone. They began to run in the wide grassy space in front of the old farmhouse. But they made so much noise that Joyce said, "I'm afraid we will wake Grandma, Dawn. We should be quiet." "Let's go to the backyard," said Dawn. "We can be as noisy as we like there, and Grandma won't hear us." In the backyard, the two kids played under the old apple tree. But Grandma's nap didn't last long. She woke up to a scream from the backyard. She hurried out and found Joyce jumping up and down with her hand covering one eye. Dawn was frightened. He didn't know why his sister was acting like that, but Grandma immediately knew what had happened. Joyce had gone too near one of Grandpa's beehives and was stung by a bee. Quietly, Grandma took the little girl's hand, and together they went back to the house. To help Joyce calm down, Grandma gently placed a cloth of water on her eye. However, Joyce's eye began to swell, and she was not able to see out of it at all. Activity 1. Why did Dawn and Joyce decide to play in the backyard? They decided that because Grandma asked them to do so. They decided that because the backyard is their favorite place. They decided that because they didn't want to wake Grandma. Look at the answer. Why did Joyce scream? She was stung by a bee. She was fighting with Dawn. She fell down. Look at the answer. What do Joyce and Dawn enjoy doing at Grandpa's farm? They enjoy waking up late. They enjoy watching Grandpa's beehives. They enjoy playing and helping Grandma and Grandpa with their work. Look at the answer. Which of the following actions done by Grandma shows that she's a calm person? She didn't panic when she saw Joyce jumping in pain but quietly took care of her. She took a nap after lunch. She was frightened when she saw Joyce jumping in pain. Look at the answer. Focus on vocabulary. By the end of these activities, you will be able to identify the meaning of new words and use them in context. Activity 1. Choose the correct definition for the words in bold. In the backyard, the two kids played under the old apple tree. Apple tree, field, garden behind a house. Look at the answer. Grandma's nap did not last for a long time. She woke up when she heard a scream. Quick dinner, temporary work, brief sleep. Look at the answer. Don was frightened. He didn't know why his sister was acting like that. Scared, calm, angry. Look at the answer. Joyce's eye began to swell, and soon, she wasn't able to see out of it at all. To remain the same size, to become larger in size, to become smaller in size. Look at the answer. I like honey, but I don't like bees, they sting so. To cause a small prick to the skin, to cause trouble, to produce a humming sound. Look at the answer. On sunny days, bees gather nectar from flowers and turn it into honey. Produce, collect, change. Look at the answer. On cloudy days, bees make little wax cells in which they store honey. Bee eggs, small structures, new hives. Look at the answer. Activity 2. Match each word with the right picture. Sting. Nap. Frightened. Look at the answer. Focus on grammar. By the end of these activities, you will be able to identify and form compound nouns and use them in context. Click on the compound words in each of the following sentences. When it's bedtime, John's mom reads him a short story. I like your new look. Did you get a haircut? While it was snowing, Susan and her little brother enjoyed watching the snowflakes falling from the sky. My grandmother needs a flower pot in which she can plant her new flowers. Many farmers use scarecrows to scare birds and keep them away from their crops. At the amusement park, my little son enjoys riding the merry-go-round. Look at the answer. Focus on writing my story with an animal. By the end of these activities, you will be able to identify story elements and write a short story about an animal. Main story elements. Title, the name of the story. Setting, the place and time in which the story takes place. Characters, the people, animals, or even things in the story. Plot, the events that happen in the story. The little baby bird. It was Sunday afternoon. I was playing in the backyard with my brother, Kareem. Suddenly, we saw a little bird lying on the grass under the old apple tree. The bird was very small and looked scared and hungry. It couldn't fly and barely had feathers on its red skin. It was clear that it had fallen from the nest built on one of the branches. Therefore, Kareem and I decided to help the poor, little bird. I climbed up the ladder that was placed next to the tree, and with the help of Kareem, I safely placed the bird back in its nest where 3 other baby birds were cooing softly. Kareem and I felt very happy that we were able to help the poor bird go back home. Now try to answer these questions and good luck. Thanks for listening and goodbye.